and welcome to the news on Africa News 24 TV. Glad to have you join us for news and updates of events happening around the world. I am Lydia Ajayi. We begin with security as Nigeria is starting the week with more reports of attacks. This is as residents have continued to lament over a brutal surge in violence as gunmen in the new week struck multiple locations across different parts of northern Nigeria. In Kogi State, at a church in Ejiba, Yagba West, gunmen stormed during worship, abducting the pastor, his wife, and several worshippers, sending the congregation fleeing for their lives. In Kano's border community of Yankamaye village, the attackers killed a woman and kidnapped 3 other women. In Sokoto's Chacho village in Wonu local government area, a bride, a bridesmaid, and many guests preparing for a looming wedding were seized. Meanwhile, in KWARA State, a traditional ruler, Alhaji Kamilu Salami, was kidnapped from his farm, and his abductors are demanding a ransom of 150 million naira for his release. The wave of attacks has widened fears across communities already traumatized by recurrent raids. In Kogi's Ejiba community, villagers described panic and chaos as gunshots rang out. Local authorities say security agencies have since intensified manhunt operations with a vow to rescue the abducted alive. In KANO, the killing and kidnappings have drawn public condemnation and renewed pressure on security agencies, including political leaders, to act swiftly. In Sokoto and KWARA, residents wait anxiously as families plead for the safe return of their loved ones, many still unaware of the fate of those taken. Reacting to the attack, the Kogi state government said it had intensified surveillance and manhunt against the bandits. The Commissioner for Information and Communication, Kingsley Fanwo, said he has information to that effect and is also aware that the security network comprising the conventional security agencies and the local security architecture are currently doing what they should do. He also noted that the governor of the state, Alhaji Ahmed Usman Ododo, is coordinating activities and will keep the press updated on the operations. As part of efforts at containing insecurity, the Federal Capital Territory Police Command says it has foiled a planned attack on a community in the FCT, killing 3 of the gunmen and recovering arms in a coordinated operation. In a statement by the spokesperson of the police, Josephine Ade, the command said the breakthrough followed recent kidnapping incidents in Ako community, Dupa, Gwagalada, and Buari, prompting the Commissioner of Police to direct intensified operations against the syndicates behind the attacks. Acting on fresh intelligence, operatives on November 30th arrested a wanted kidnap and robbery suspect, Sani Muhammad Umar, also known as Boko, and recovered his phone, believed to be used for coordinating attacks. The police spokesperson said the anti-kidnapping units advanced into the area and laid an ambush for the gunmen, 3 of whom were killed after a gun battle that lasted 30 minutes, with some who escaped having gunshot wounds. The Commissioner of Police has urged residents to remain vigilant and continue providing timely intelligence to security agencies. The Nigerian Air Force strike says fresh precision airstrikes have crushed terror camps in Katsina and foiled a Boko Haram attack in Chibok, Borno. Now spokesperson Air Commodore Eyime Ejodam says the strikes under Operation Fansanyama and Adinkai destroyed hideouts, killed several fighters, and blocked insurgents from regrouping. He added that the coordinated air-ground response helped protect residents and reflects the Air Force push to degrade terrorist networks nationwide. In another development, governors of the 19 northern states are meeting in Kaduna to address the resurgence of kidnapping, banditry, and other security challenges in the region. The emergency meeting on Monday at the Sir Kashim Ibrahim Government House, Kaduna, is focused on strategies to tackle the rising insecurity across northern Nigeria. Among the governors present are Obasani Kaduna, Abubakar Sani Bago Niger, Inuwa Yahaya Gombe, Umar Namadi Jigawa, Dauda Lawal Zamfara, May Malabuni Yobe, Nasir Idris Kebbi, Amadu Fentiri Adamawa, and Abdullahi Sule Nasarawa, while others are represented by their deputies. Traditional rulers, including the Sultan of Sokoto, Alhaji Sahad Abubakar III, are also attending the meeting. The presidency has responded to former President Olusegun Obasanjo, dismissing his criticism of President Bola Tinubu's handling of insecurity and accusing him of lacking the moral standing to comment on the matter. This response followed Obasanjo's remarks at an event in Jos, where he suggested that Nigerians have the right to seek foreign intervention if the government fails to protect them. According to a statement by the Special Advisor to the President on Media and Public Communications, Sunday Dare, advocating external intervention is not statesmanship but capitulation, adding that Obasanjo should reflect on the actions he failed to take while in office before advising the current administration on security matters. In a statement posted on X by the presidency, argued that terrorism began to take root during Obasanjo's administration. It criticized the former president for, in its words, looking away when early signs of terrorism emerged, yet now attempting to judge the current government. The presidency also condemned Obasanjo's recommendation that Tinubu should turn to foreign powers if he cannot address Nigeria's security concern. It described the suggestion as an abdication for responsibility and a call that undermines the nation's sovereignty. Abia State Governor Alex Otti has assured detained IPOB leader NNAMDI KANU that he is committed to securing his release following a private visit to him at the Department of State Services facility in Abuja. The visit has renewed public interest in the long-running detention and legal battles surrounding KANU. During the meeting, Governor Otti reportedly expressed concern over KANU's continued incarceration despite past court rulings ordering his release. He hinted that discussions are already ongoing with federal authorities and legal actors, stressing that resolving the issue is vital for peace and stability in the southeast. KANU has been in custody since June 2021 and faces charges bordering on treasonable felony, while human rights groups argue his detention violates court orders. The federal government maintains that national security considerations must guide any decision on his release. More reactions have continued to trail the ambassadorial nomination list of the President Bola Tinubu. The latest is coming from the African Democratic Congress, who is criticizing the nomination of the immediate past chairman of the Independent National Electoral Commission, for Professor Mahmoud Yakubu, as an ambassador. The party described his nomination as a national embarrassment. In a statement issued in Abuja, the National Publicity Secretary of the ADC, Bolaji Abdullahi, said appointing Yakubu so soon after stepping down from the electoral umpire further erodes public trust in the neutrality of Nigeria's electoral system. He questions if Yakubu was a former diplomat, a political ally of the president, or it belongs to the president's political party to have been qualified to serve as an ambassador. The party spokesperson wants Professor Yakubu to turn down the offer to preserve his legacy. The National Drug Law Enforcement Agency has uncovered and dismantled a social media drug network operating in Lagos, where illicit substances were packaged as imported Christmas cookies and snacks. NDLEA spokesperson Femi Babafemi says operatives raided a hideout in the Lekki area, arresting two suspected masterminds, Deji Adesanya and Olubiyi Majekodunmi. According to the agency, the syndicate imported Canadian Loud, a potent strain of cannabis, and packaged it in a colorful designer sachet bearing cookie and snack labels. distributing the drugs through an online platform. The former military president, General Ibrahim Babangida, has charged the new PDP national chairman, Kabiru Turaki, to review the party, correct its past mistakes, and position it as a stabilizing force ahead of the 2027 elections. Turaki led members of the PDP National Working Committee on a courtesy and condolence visit to Babangida's hilltop residence in Mina, where discussions focused on party renewal and national stability. Babangida commended the party for standing with Niger State during recent security challenges and urged the chairman to lead with tact, consultation, and inclusiveness. He reminded the delegation of the PDP's strong national structures and the deep influence political parties hold in communities. And in business, Dangote Refinery has announced plans to supply 50 million liters of petrol daily to the Nigerian market starting December 2025. The company said it will provide 1.5 billion liters of premium motor spirits monthly, with the volume expected to rise to 1.7 billion liters per month, about 57 million liters daily from February 2026. In a letter to the Nigerian Midstream and Downstream Petroleum Regulatory Authority, CEO David Bird said the refinery is ready to meet the country's domestic fuel needs and urged regulators to deploy official on-site from December 1st to verify and publish its daily production and stock levels. The company also requested support to ensure smooth clearance of crude, feedstocks, and finished products, citing frequent vessel clearance delays that increase operational costs. The pledge comes amid persistent supply challenges in the downstream sector, where Nigeria has continued to rely heavily on petrol imports. The company said its planned output will boost fuel security and advance the federal government's efforts to strengthen local refining capacity under the Nigeria's first policy. On the foreign scene, South African President Cyril Ramaphosa on Sunday dismissed United States President Donald Trump's threat to bar Pretoria from next year's G20 summit, insisting the country's position within the global forum remains secure. Speaking during a State of the Nation address, Ramaphosa emphasized that South Africa is a founding member of the G20 and reiterated his commitment to participating as a full, active, and constructive member. His comments followed Washington's boycott of the November 22nd to 23rd Johannesburg summit, during which Trump repeatedly debunked claims that South Africa's black-led government persecutes its white minority. Trump had alleged that South Africa refused to properly hand over the rotating G20 presidency at the meeting, saying the country would therefore not be invited to the 2026 summit scheduled to hold in Florida. Ramaphosa also condemned as blatant misinformation Trump's assertion that South Africa is committing genocide against Afrikaners or forcibly seizing land from white citizens, claims repeatedly dismissed by independent observers. Despite the diplomatic tensions, Ramaphosa noted that U.S. companies, policy groups, and civil society organizations were actively engaged in G20-related programs hosted in Johannesburg. Still in Africa, Cameroonian opposition leader Anicet Ekane has died in detention. His sister Marianne Simon Ekane confirmed the death on Facebook. Ekane, leader of the African Movement for New Independence and Democracy Party, was arrested on October 24, 2025, following post-election demonstrations in what his party described as a kidnapping by Cameroonian soldiers. The 74-year-old leader was being held on charges of hostility against the state, incitement to revolt, and calls for insurrection, accusations he denied. His death in detention could heighten tensions in the Central African nation, where security forces killed 48 civilians as they responded to protests against the re-election of President Paul Biya, the world's oldest ruler at 92, who has led his country since 1982. Ekane's lawyer, Nguana Ulrich, said the Cameroonian opposition leader was barely able to speak during a visit just days before his death. And in sports, Arsenal's visit to Stamford Bridge ended in a hard-fought 1-1 draw against Chelsea on Sunday in a fiercely contested London derby, despite Chelsea being reduced to 10 men early in the match. The crunch came in the 38th minute when Chelsea midfielder Moses was shown a red card after a VAR review upgraded his third-up challenge on Arsenal's Mikel Merino. Remarkably, Chelsea struck first shortly after the break. In the 48th minute, Trevoh Chalobah rose highest to nod in a corner from captain Reece James, giving the host a shock lead despite their numerical disadvantage. Arsenal responded 11 minutes later. Bukayo Saka's cross found Merino, who powered a close-range header past Chelsea goalkeeper Robert Sanchez to level the score in the 59th minute. The remainder of the match saw Arsenal press for a winner and Chelsea held firm defensively, but despite late pressure, neither side could find a decisive goal. The result leaves Arsenal top of the Premier League with 30 points, while Chelsea sits third on 24. Atalanta maintained its strong form with a confident 2-0 victory over Fiorentina on Sunday at the New Balance Arena, thanks to goals from Ademola Lookman and Odilon Kosunu. Fiorentina created the first clear chance of the match in the 4th minute, but were denied by goalkeeper Marco. Atalanta gradually took control and broke the deadlock in the 41st minute when Kosunu called a shot into the top corner after connecting with a pass from Charles. Atalanta doubled their lead 6 minutes into the second half following a corner. The ball fell kindly in the box, and Lookman reacted quickly to fire into the roof of the net, continuing his fine scoring from after netting in a midweek European game. The host kept firm control for the remainder of the match, limiting Fiorentina's chances and holding on for a comfortable win. The result extends Atalanta's momentum following recent positive performances, while Fiorentina's poor league run continues. Remarkable moment for African cinema as British national filmmaker Akinola Davis Jr. has clinched the Best Director award at the 28th British Independent Film Awards for his debut feature, My Father's Shadow. The win has been greeted with excitement across the global film community, marking a powerful milestone for homegrown African storytelling on the world stage. My Father's Shadow dominated this year's BIFA nominations with 12 nods, reinforcing its status as one of the standout films of 2025. This latest recognition adds to an extraordinary run for the film, which earlier made history as the first Nigerian film ever included in the official selection at the Cannes Film Festival, earning a prestigious Camera d'Or special mention. With Davis Jr. already named among BAFTA's 2025 Breakthrough Talents and now a Breakthrough Director nominee at the upcoming Gotham Awards, industry watchers say the filmmaker is on a meteoric rise as My Father's Shadow continues to earn global attention. The big question now is how far this momentum will carry and how it might shape the next chapter for African cinema on the international front. And that's all on the news at this hour. Thank you for staying tuned. Please follow us on all our social media platforms and check our website at africanews24.ng to stay informed and ahead. We'll catch you on the next broadcast. Bye for now.